got our webcam working again. Yay. Awesome. All right. So I'm kind of recording things out of order that you'll find out. Sunday. But this is our reading lesson for day 1 virtual. So this is Squirrel's New Year's resolutions. It looks like this. I'm having some trouble with the technology. I'm sure you'll hear about it in the other videos this week. Oops. So in your Monday packet, today in reading, it says listen to Squirrel's New Year's resolutions. Okay. We're not going to answer necessarily the questions together, but we'll come up with some good goals for Mrs. Keller, and then you can think of goals that would be good for you. Okay. So, by the way, random thought, my birthday is this Thursday. I'm so sad because I had planned on bringing in a special treat for you guys, and it's here because you've got to like let it sit 2 weeks or something so there's no contamination, you know, fun stuff this year. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, but I made some cookies and they're decorated, and let's just say they follow a similar theme as our classroom bulletin board and the winter holiday gift that you got from me. So hopefully, I mean, I don't see why not, but when we come back to school on Monday, you guys will get to enjoy the treats, and hopefully they will not be stale because they will have been 3 weeks old, but I'm sure they'll be fine. They're just, you know, glossy sugar cookies, so they should be fine. Anyway, let's move on. Squirrel's New Year's resolutions. But I was excited to celebrate you guys. I've not gotten to celebrate my birthday with a class on my actual birthday since I started teaching. I don't know what that's about. Bummer. All right. Squirrel's New Year's resolution. Do you have any resolutions? Do your parents, your grandparents, whoever you live with, your friends, brother, sister, cousins? You ever heard of New Year's resolutions before? This is the time of year where you start hearing about them. We'll talk about resolutions more after the video, but let's see what kind of goals Squirrel has for this new year.
Squirrel's New Year's Resolution by Pat Miller. Illustrations by Kathy Ember. Click that subscribe button for more children's books. Squirrel pinned up her brand new Nut of the Month calendar. It's January 1st, the radio said. A great day to make a resolution. Make a resolution? Wondered Squirrel. How do you do that? Bear might know. She went to see Bear at the Longwood Library. Happy New Year, he said. Same to you, Bear. Do you know how to make a resolution? Is it like making a snack? Bear laughed. Resolutions are more important than snacks. More important than snacks, said Squirrel? What is a resolution? A resolution is a promise you make to yourself to be better or to help others, Bear said. When we begin a new year, we make a fresh start. Wow. Did you make a resolution? Asked Squirrel. I did, Bear answered. I resolved to teach others how to read. I'm going to teach Skunk as soon as she gets well. Oh no, is Skunky still sick? Squirrel thought as she hurried to Skunk's house for a visit. She forgot all about making a resolution. Skunk was sick of being sick. I'm stuck in bed until Dr. L says I'm better, said Skunk. I would rather be learning to read. That's my New Year's resolution. Squirrel knew how to cheer up her friends. She hid at the foot of the bed. She popped up and shouted, Giggles. I can skunk with her thinking. Squirrel popped up again. Boo! And again. Boo! By now, Skunk was laughing hard. Just then, Dr. Owl came by. Skunk, I can tell by your laughter that you are feeling much better, he said. Now you can visit there. Just make sure you have a healthy lunch first. Lunch, thought Squirrel. She headed toward the hiding hole of Diamond. Maybe someone there can help me with my resolution. On her way, she met Mole and Turtle. Mole was holding a map close to his nose. What are you doing? Asked Squirrel. Turtle and I resolved to plant a garden, said Mole. But I can't find a good place to dig with all these trees. Wait here, said Squirrel. She dashed up an oak tree and looked down. She spied wildcat seed, and on its face a perfect place for a garden. Squirrel scampered down and led Mole and Turtle through the woods to the edge of the creek. She helped them stake out strings for the borders of the garden. Thanks, Squirrel. I will start digging right after lunch, said Mole. Lunch, thought Mole, and she rushed away. She still hadn't thought of a resolution. At the diner, Squirrel chose a stool next to Porcupine. He looked grumpy. What's wrong? Asked Squirrel. I resolved to be less grumpy, so I'm trying to laugh more, but I can't think of anything funny. I can help you think of something funny, like why did the squirrel run back and forth across the road?
Oh,
I don't know. Why? Asked Porcupine. Because she was nuts, laughed Squirrel. Porcupine laughed too. I get it. That reminds me. What's striped and bouncy? Tell me, giggled Squirrel. Skunk on a trampoline, said Porcupine. Squirrel laughed herself right off the stool. Porcupine said, that's a good one. I better write these down. Off he went to find paper and pencil. Squirrel felt left out. Porcupine has a resolution. So do Bear and Skunk and Mole and Turtle, she thought. I'm the only animal in the forest who hasn't made a New Year's resolution. Rabbit came to take Squirrel's order. Would you like to try my New Year's special? Asked Rabbit. Sure, said Squirrel. Maybe it will help me make a resolution. I wish I knew how. Think of a way to improve yourself, or a way to use what you're good at to help others, said Rabbit. Squirrel ate her lunch special and thought hard. Just then, Skunk came in. I need a healthy lunch. Thanks to Squirrel, I'm feeling better. Sit with me, Skunk, Bear called. I see you brought our first book. Turtle and Mole came in next. What do you have for two thirsty animals who just started a garden? Said Mole. Squirrel found a terrific place for it, said Turtle. Porcupine hurried in. Do you know why Bear said caw, caw? Before anyone could answer, Porcupine said, he was learning another language. All the animals laughed. I didn't know you were so funny, said Mole. Me either, said Porcupine. Squirrel got me started. Rabbit said to Squirrel, you're doing a good job on your resolution. I didn't know I had one, said Squirrel. Your actions are better than words. It looks like you resolved to help someone every day, said Rabbit. Really? Asked Squirrel. I did it! I made was my very first resolution. Hooray for Squirrel! Shouted all the animals. It was going to be a very happy New Year.
All right. And that's her story. Now,
Thanks
oops.
for reading with
New Year's resolutions don't have to be something for yourself. So a goal for you to improve yourself. It can be to improve the lives of the people around you, but it can also be for yourself. The problem a lot of times when people make resolutions, including myself, is that they aren't measurable. So think about when you're picking a just right book. If you pick something with a lot of vocabulary and language that you haven't learned yet, and you make the goal of finishing that book, is that really an appropriate goal for you? Or are you just going to disappoint yourself because it's just not appropriate for you yet? You're not there yet. You're in second grade, maybe a chapter book that's at a sixth grade level isn't a book you should be choosing. You should be choosing a book that's at your level, maybe a second grade book or third grade book. So think about it that way when you're coming up with New Year's resolutions. Resolutions are goals, and goals are best made when they are measurable. And what that means is, like picking a just right book, you're thinking of something that you would like to improve on, but you're making it achievable. You're making it something that's realistic. So a lot of people like to make a resolution that they're going to exercise more or eat healthier. Well, if you just say, oh, I'm going to eat healthier this year, you haven't set yourself any real goals. You're already setting yourself up for disappointment. You need to come up with ways that you're going to be able to achieve that goal. So maybe on Monday, I'm going to do Meatless Monday, and I'm going to eat a fully plant-based dinner and lunch. Okay, maybe that's one way that I can work towards eating healthier this year. Maybe I will make sure I only eat a square of chocolate at the end of the day instead of a whole chocolate bar. Things that are measurable. I'm going to eat 5 servings of vegetables a day. I'm going to eat 3 servings of fruit a day. And I'm going to try to just stick to 1 or 2 sweets. Something that's just a little bit more number oriented so that you're able to keep track of how you're doing. So that every time you eat a square of chocolate, it's not the end of the world, you know? Don't restrict yourself too much. Maybe if someone has a goal of exercising, they are saying on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to make sure that I exercise for 20 minutes. If you exercise more than 2 times a week, great. But these are the 2 days that I know for sure I'm going to have the time and the energy to be able to do that. Making a goal for yourself that you'll be able to achieve, but not one that's too easy. If you say, my goal for the new year is to read 1 book. Well, you're going to read more than 1 book in class. So think of something that's actually challenging for you, but not something that's way too hard that is causing you to set yourself up for failure. Anyway, it's kind of a long explanation, but I wanted to give you multiple examples. All right, so we've listened to the story. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you pause the video and take a look at each of these activities. I'm going to have you do a Squirrel's New Year's resolution. Okay, beginning, middle, end. What happens during those parts of the story? What is the problem in the story? How did the squirrel solve that problem or respond to that problem? And then list what each character or each animal in the story's New Year's resolution was. Everyone had one. How does Squirrel help? So how does Squirrel help the other people in this story? and then some comprehension questions. So the story is about 8 minutes long. You can pause here, you can go back to the story, and you can answer those questions now. Okay? Try to use complete sentences if you can, at least for the reading comprehension questions. All right? So pause, rewind, complete these activities before you continue this video. All right, hopefully you finished the other activities and you're ready to continue with me talking about New Year's resolutions. So here are some New Year's resolutions that are great for someone like you. So maybe this year I'm going to keep my room clean. How can I make that an achievable goal? So on every Thursday, I'll look for trash and food in my room, and I'll clean that up. On Wednesdays, I'll look and see if I have any toys out, and I'll put those away. On Tuesday, so come up with something that's not just I'm going to keep my room clean, because even Mrs. Keller can't keep her room perfectly clean all the time. I don't want to set myself up for failure. I will keep good grades in school. What's a good grade for you? Maybe a good grade for you is an A in reading. Maybe a good grade for you is a B in math. Maybe a good grade for you is a C in math. Or a C in reading. So think of something that's achievable for you, but you're still challenging yourself. Maybe you haven't been getting grades that you think you deserve because maybe you haven't been turning in homework or remembering to put your name on papers or being responsible and turning in your morning work every month. Maybe that's something you can work on. I'll make sure that my name's on everything. I'll make sure that I turn things in when Mrs. Keller asks for them. There's just lots of different ideas here. There's 2 pages of it. Okay, and if you're still struggling, just ask an adult or someone older than you who maybe are more familiar with resolutions to help you. Okay. Later on today in writing, you're going to come up with resolutions that you would like to achieve this year. So we're going to write them in I can statements. I'm not going to write down my resolutions, but I'm going to tell you so that you know an example of a resolution that maybe is appropriate. So if I write them as an I can statement for myself, an achievable, challenging goal. For a while, I've been trying to learn Swedish, and I was doing really, really well during the quarantine, during the summer of practicing, at least 3 times a week and doing my lessons and things. And I've kind of fallen off that since school started. So I'd like to get back into that. So similar to what I was talking about with the exercise or the eating healthier tips earlier for making an achievable goal, I'm going to make sure that I practice and do my Swedish lessons twice a week. It can be any day, because my days aren't, especially this year, aren't always the same. So I might have a crazy day on Monday or Tuesday. It's different every week. So if I set a goal for me to do it just 2 times a week, there's 7 days in a week, I think that's achievable for me this year. So that's one of my goals. Another goal is, I talked about it earlier, might sound silly, but meatless Mondays. So preparing meals that are plant-based at dinner time for my family on Mondays. So I have 2 goals there. And then a third goal, I have some just really simple stretches and things. Some of you guys that had me in kindergarten remember that I was in a pretty bad car accident, and I'm still having to rehabilitate my neck and my muscles and my upper body strength. And so exercise has been really hard for me for the past 2-3 years. And so I've always been a very active person. It's been very hard for me to not be able to do that. So I want to get back into that with maybe just some stretching. So maybe getting back into some yoga, just focusing on stretching, trying to do that 5 days a week for about 10 minutes. I think that's achievable for me. So 5 days a week, whether it be before school or at the end of the day, I'm going to take 10 minutes to myself and I'm going to do some stretching. I'm going to be doing my rehabilitation on my nerves in my neck, in my shoulders, and my back. Um, Maybe I'm working on some yoga. So I think that that would be a good idea for me this year. So I have 3 New Year's resolutions. You're welcome to come up with one or more than one, but once you start choosing more than 3 resolutions, it gets really complicated. So make sure that you're setting goals that are appropriate for the amount of time that you have to dedicate to them and to your age and to your capabilities. All right, this video has gone on long enough. I apologize. I hope you have a great, let's see, Squirrels Monday, and I hope that you are able to learn virtually this week. Reach out to me if you have any questions or you're struggling with anything, and stay healthy, please. Hopefully, see you on Monday.